Right, so this is up in Preston. This is the Lancashire Infantry Museum, somewhere I've been meaning to see for quite a long time. It's a forward barracks. I'm not entirely sure whether I'm really meant to be or allowed to kind of post these images or not. I didn't ask, to be fair. They were fine with taking photos inside the museum. Obviously not around the barracks, but the museum, you're entitled to go in and have a look under the supervision of a member of staff. Obviously an interesting museum. Goes way back, sort of around the times of Waterloo, and but I think someone said the Lancashire Regiment were fighting in the War of America at the time in 1812. That cap badge there is that Queen's Lancashire Regiment from the early 2000s, late 90s. They had like a bit of cheese. Well, it looked like a diamond of cheese almost behind the red rose of Lancashire. I think that was the tunic that someone was wearing when they got shot in the shoulder, which was similar to Horatio Nelson down at the Greenwich National Maritime Museum, because it's still got the original tunic that he was wearing, but this was blue, obviously being the Navy. Up to the times of D-Day and World War II and all the historic things with the drums and cap badges have passed. Obviously, the amalgamation happened in 2007. I think they're the Duke of Lancaster's regiment now. I think there might be. We've got like a lime green beret with like a red sewn in cap badge. Not quite as unique as the old cheese cap badge thing they had. And upstairs we've got like a dining hall almost. A couple of paintings from Northern Ireland. And obviously a few plaques around the place. And I like that, of course, Lines of England. You find that near the Deepdale Museum as like a TA barracks. I think it's for Duke of Lancs or that way. That was pretty cool as well. Obviously, be a bit brutal. Well, I won't get into it. But the main theme in the video is as soon as you leave the museum and the barracks, straight opposite you is Garrison Road. And straight away you've got Garrison Pub, which is obviously like an old historic pub that's now shut down. So straight away, like the reality of it all hits you for those who are kind of awake. I've got to be careful what I say, but it certainly hit me. I walked out. You straight away, you've got a shut down pub opposite you, and then by the look of it, that whole road down Garrison Road, I think is largely occupied by Muslims, from what I can tell. Now, I'm being careful, what I say. I don't hate Muslims, but it is strange we've got this like Islamification going on around Britain, and particularly as soon as you step out of forward barracks and you see that straight opposite you, it kind of shows the reality of what's going on in this country. I can't remember the road, but is it Ascaf Road? It's like a main road that leads. Ascaf Arms is the first pub you come to, but that one's particularly been transformed, shall we say. Along there you've got nothing but shut down pubs like the one coming up in a second. The Acregate, so the Acregate Hotel pub, shut down. It's the last remaining pub other than the Escaf Arms, and the remainder of the shops up and down that street are nothing but all the usual Polish, Turkish, and the only thing really remaining now is, I think it's called the Escaf Arms on the end. As a side note, why I called it the Proof of Preston, this video. Well, I went to try, on my way out, I went to try and get into the Museum of Lancashire. And, it's a bit of a strange one. I pulled up in the car park and I walked all the way around, down this pedestrian road. And I came to, I can't remember what it's called. There's like another museum sort of thing on the other end. I think they deal with archives and things like that. And started chatting to a lady down there. She says, yeah, well, council shut that museum for now. So it there is some proof in what I'm doing that, councils, whether they mean to be doing it, whether they are genuine or not, I don't know. But there's certainly there might be some good people in the councils fighting for our interests, but certainly the government will obviously be stripping the money away and the funding away from the councils, and then they have to shut down the museums as it goes on. So historic museums obviously are underfunded, relies on voluntary work. And then some occasions, like the Museum of Lancashire, of all places in Preston, is shut down. So there's a little bit of proof in what I'm doing. a pub, the last remaining pub hotel on the Acregate has shut down, and that's the last remaining bit of English culture you'll really find up and down that street, up until the town centre. And then the final thing I'll comment on was this bench. Now it caught my eye because it's by the Museum of Lancashire, and I saw it. I was like, that is incredible. You know, they've actually gone to the time and effort to put to make a camel sitting down, holding up a bench. You know, you just think the amount of care and effort that must have gone into that back in the day. And I think you can't quite make it out, but in the background, there's one of these ugly modern lampposts. You know, like the right angle ones that have the LED lights that you can't even look at for any more than about 5 seconds without blinding yourself. You know, and in the distance you've got the hideous modern high-rise buildings, and you know, it just shows the care of the past is something that's gone now. And you know, across the road also from the Museum of Lancashire, that lovely old building next to the prison, you've got a big ugly retail park. You know, the usual Costa, McDonald's, KFC. You know, big queues of people queuing up to go to the drive-through, and it's just so American. You know, like the beauty of the old world, shall we say? It's just being absolutely destroyed, obviously, by the modern world. I'm not whinging, I'm not moaning, I'm just observing. All I can do is what I'm doing for now, which is recording the old world. Should this trend continue, and I think that's it. Cheers.